Alright, so for this one, I've decided I'm going to just experiment with an engine, see how much power I can get out of it. Now, I know a lot of people have already done these videos in the past, they're nothing new, but I haven't, in my experience, seen anybody do one with the Boxer 6 engine. So that's what I'm going to be doing, is pulling as much power as possible out of a Boxer 6. As you would have seen by the thumbnail and the title, I managed to pull 3,200 horsepower out of this bad boy. And a couple of the things I found out during testing was A, don't make it a max size, it kills RPM, things start to die faster, and direct acting overhead cam seemed to work the best for me. It may not be the best overall. And as you can see, it's going to be a quality spam, out the ass style engine. Everything needs to be the best quality it possibly can, otherwise things start to die, it can't rev, and you maximize potential that way. Now, it's usually done in 2020. I noticed my mistake here in a little while, and I switch it over at some point, and I just had a total brain fart on what I was trying to say. Oh, uh, I am a professional. Don't judge. For this, my second attempt through after my test engine, I had like all the notes and stuff, and I was just trying to replicate things. And as I'm going through this, you'll notice something interesting. You see me struggle with a couple things, like one of them ends up being here with the turbo, I believe, where I can't match the same sizes that I had the first time. Like, the game, for some reason, just will not let me get the same measurement for the turbine that I did the first time through. So I was very confused on that one, which ends up throwing things off here in a little while once the graphs come up with the horsepower and torque figures and things are stressed and not having a good time. So I don't know what that's all about. Definitely some kind of a weird little bug, I guess, that you can't get the same exact numbers every single time. I don't really understand what that's all about. But things end up continuing to move forward smoothly for the time being, while I try my best to get everything to line up as it was before. And another thing that I made a mistake with in this one that you'll see is when I changed it to 2020 from 2012, I ended up having a higher RPM limit that I did not take advantage of. So technically, this engine could have possibly produced more horsepower than what it already does because, 3,200 horsepower just isn't enough to begin with, but it could have ended up doing more. But as you can see right here, this is where I start noticing the issues with the pistons are dying, the crank is dying, and I'm like, wait a minute, everything was fine. Blunder one, I had the intercooler wrong. Good old dyslexia on that one. And I start again trying to figure out why the turbine cannot be the size that it was before. I don't understand. I still don't. I don't know what the deal with that is. There it is. That's when I realized I was in the wrong ear. Yeah, you can see I can now go up to an 8,000 RPM red line, and, well, I don't. I don't know why I didn't. I guess I wasn't paying close enough attention. I maybe didn't realize it during my test build that the RPM limit had gone up by a little bit. But regardless, I sit here and I tinker with a few more things. I end up having to, I believe, turn the boost down a little bit to kill off the last little bit of stress there. And I should be having my brain moment here in a second. Again, trying to get that inducer size to be where it was supposed to be, where it was before, and just ain't having it. So, I don't know, again, I don't know why it does that. I have replicated things multiple times before in the past and not run into that issue, but this time, game just wasn't having it. So, here it is. I got everything all sorted out. Everything is green, everything is happy. And I start tweaking it, trying to put just a little bit more power out of it. And yeah, that's where I end up calling it for this particular build. And here's what it sounds like. assuming you can even hear that because I'm doing a voiceover, and wow, that was really fucking quiet. So yeah, that's it for this one. I don't know if this is ever going to make it into a car. If it does, I'll make a video on it, and it'll be absolutely ridiculous.